Good morning. Hi, I'm Jim McMillan. Thanks to Andy Mendelson for inviting me. My apologies to all. I'm sorry I can't be there, but thanks to Kurt Chandler for suggesting that I pop in via video. Briefly, for 30 years, I was primarily a newspaper photographer with a couple of wire service stints, and I produced online news video toward the end of my career. For the last 5 years, I've been teaching across 5 institutions, and at present, I teach multimedia reporting to grad students at NYU. I advise a public radio program, War News Radio at Swarthmore, and I coordinate Fiji, the Philadelphia Initiative for Journalistic Innovation at Temple University. Kurt suggested that I carry on for 5 minutes, so please forgive the lack of attribution in this shorthand. I come at this discussion from a particular perspective. I strive to prepare students for economically sustainable careers. I believe that the old industry is dead, and yet that the new ecosystem is full of opportunities. And that I also believe that sometimes makes sense to distribute our content for free. So asked to discuss visual education and technology, first I was struggling to define the boundaries. Are we talking about skills, apps, platforms? So a lot of things came to mind. First, I've been thinking lately about audience consumption patterns and the platforms on which they consume and producing our content optimized for each platform. I would teach all of the requisite multimedia apps, of course, but not just for the desktop anymore. For instance, there's now Photoshop and iMovie for the iPhone. I teach content distribution and distribution strategies and content licensing alternatives. The power of early adoption. I try something new every day, and I think students should too. I think students and instructors need strategies for staying current. For me, for now, it's conferences, RSS feeds, and online conversations, but the details are changing constantly. I teach students to consider the culture around tech in old media organizations, embracing the authority of youth that's empowering them, but while negotiating the disdain of the skeptics. Everybody needs to be prepared to articulate a defense for every new initiative, and also remember that everybody in the newsroom wants a return on investment now. Finally, my gadgets. I get a lot of attention for iPhone reporting. The choice so far for iPhone video, anyway, is low-resolution live streaming or delivering near-live, quick turnaround, high-resolution video or stills. I find that some supplemental tools are very helpful, and I'll share a link when I'm done so that you don't have to take notes. I talk too fast anyway, right? I should also mention that I'm not being compensated for these endorsements, but if anybody sends me a check, I will be cashing it. So the iPhone. Well, the iPhone resolution is sufficient, and the distributive apps are incredibly empowering. The primary shortcomings of the iPhone are stability and the wide-only lens that it comes with. So for stability, I start with a simple tool, the GorillaPod. You've seen these everywhere. Tripods that will clamp onto anything, but with an iPhone-specific holder that screws onto the top. It goes, vertical, horizontal. Anyway, stabilizes for video. It's not perfect. It's good enough very often. See, way better than nothing. I've started using the photojournalism. This looks ridiculous, but I like it. It's a telephoto lens combination here mounted on an iPhone 3, but there's also an iPhone 4 package. It includes the lens, the spring-loaded clamp, and the tabletop tripod. And it's marketed as a zoom lens, but it's not. It's a telephoto lens with roughly the magnification of perhaps a little less than a 300 millimeter lens on an old SLR. But it gets you there when you can't get closer. It creates low depth of field, telephoto isolation when you want that effect. And I'm pleased with the results so far. More often, realistically, I spend my time shooting with pocket cameras these days. I often carry this Canon 990 that I'm fond of with near full manual control, and I use it with SD cards, but I use the iFi brand Wi-Fi enabled cards. And what these do is they come with accompanying software for your laptop or desktop that enables you to automatically upload to your Flickr account or your .mac account or your FTP site. You can set it to upload every photo or only those marked for protection in the Canon system anyway. And of course that only works as long as you're near a Wi-Fi net. So I complete that cycle with I use the Virgin Mobile MiFi hub. Takes broadband in, kicks Wi-Fi out, so that I have Wi-Fi in my pocket everywhere I go. The biggest shortcoming with this workflow is that there's no visual confirmation. There's really no confirmation. So if you want to make sure the photos are uploaded, you need to still check with an iPhone or some other device, or else call somebody, I guess. And sometimes it's failed me. It's broken down and you're in the field and it doesn't leave you a lot of options. My favorite alternative so far is the Zoom It card reader for the iPhone. Also a an SD card reader. Plugs into the bottom of an iPhone 4, it comes with an accompanying free app, iPhone app, and enables you to upload your photos, not only from a pocket camera, but of course a professional standard camera with interchangeable lenses, for example, higher resolution images, and use those in conjunction with all of the iPhone apps. My workflow generally involves emailing the photo on my iPhone to the Posters platform, which I then use to redistribute to my WordPress blog, my Facebook account, in any number of places. It's a terrific distribution hub. Finally, of course, lots of people are shooting video with SLRs, and I'm sure that info won't be hard to find at the short course either. I'm going to stick with tools that fit in my pocket from now on. So that's about it. Have a great weekend. I wish I could be there. Thanks again.